Hello friends and welcome to Fey Earth, a magical world set in an alternate 19th century Earth, where every creature from folklore and fairy tale is real, have always been real, and lived alongside humanity. Join our adventurers as they explore a world of arcane mysteries and danger, where the new scientific and industrial age collides with an ancient world of fairy and magic. When last we left our heroes, the party had had quite an interesting day. They had met with the mayor, who has offered them a contract of sorts. The town will pay for their food and board in Le Petit Auberge, providing that they're sticking around to help with general matters of unusual fey and magical nature that seems to be popping up with greater frequency in the area over the last few months. They'd also heard that a couple of farms had been attacked. The attacks were by dire wolves from the forest. This was quite obvious because of the nature of the attacks. They also met with local legend and famed hunter Philippe Dubois. And together with Dubois, they went out to visit the farms, investigate the attacks, and track the dire wolves to the forest. While there, they finally came upon, or were set upon, depending on your perspective, these creatures. A fight ensued, quite a tough fight, but they were victorious, and eventually got back to the town where Dubois was hailed the hero by all the locals, and the women were told, "Well done for helping him out. Aren't you so lucky that you had the chance to fight alongside him?" The party did eventually go to bed, and next morning, it now being Saturday, getting up with whatever plans they have.
Well, I'm going to church.
So, just to be aware, as I said, today is Saturday, so there's a short morning mass, but tomorrow is Sunday when they'll have proper mass.
Those jars won't be ready for another day or two, will they?
You were told that it'll be Monday. Monday is when the perfume vials, the Gwynn has ordered will be ready, and you think that the jars will be ready around the same time.
Actually, Sylvia gathered some herbs, so I want to make another. I might make some healing salve.
You had enough for one standard healing tincture.
Okay, so I'm going to make another one.
Okay. Gwynn tells you all that after breakfast, or over breakfast, she tells you after breakfast she needs to pop out and get a couple of supplies for some things herself. But she shouldn't be too long. Does Justine have any plans?
Justine has no plans. Justine is just kind of like sticking around. So she might just see what the other people are doing and tag along.
Oh, actually, Sylvia is going to just sort of go up to Justine and she's basically checking for signs of trauma. So are you okay with all of this? I know that all of this has been quite difficult for you.
I'm holding. It is difficult.
Good.
It's very difficult to comprehend everything that has been happening for the past even 6 months. I don't know what to think about it. I'm just sort of numb.
Okay. That feeling of numbness, it will pass. And when it does, you might feel overwhelmed. So perhaps you should just be aware that this numbness, it will pass and you can become quite overwhelmed.
Thank you. I'll try.
So just, you will be okay, but... And Sylvia's just going to walk away.
Thank you very much.
I don't want to actually deal with this.
And Justine just started and she was like, "Oh, thank you." Yeah.
Kind of thumbs up. Good, cool, okay. Good talk.
So Gwynn, you told the party that you need to go and get supplies. Do you give them details about what supplies you need to get, or you got to be vague and mysterious?
No, I think I'm going to be vague and mysterious for the moment in case they think it's super weird, which it is, so that would be fair.
It's witches shit, so yeah.
Basically.
Oh,
I just want to go to the police. I'm going to the Gendarmerie and just wonder and ask if they found any records that they were saying they're gonna pull out for me.
yeah, no, I assume you'd be doing that after mass.
Breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you head off to the church, okay? And Gwynn, you head out to get your supplies. And Sylvia, are you just hanging around the inn until the kitchen's free, basically?
Yeah.
After you haven't seen her, she hasn't bothered to get up yet. She seems to be lying in. Right. So we will start off with Gwynn.
Okay.
So where are you heading? What are you getting?
Okay, I have a couple of things to get. I need to pinch some. Now, this will be tricky. What is in season at the moment? Well, I definitely need some nails. I definitely need some iron nails.
Yeah,
that's pretty easy. Cool.
It's January, so virtually nothing is in season.
Yeah, unfortunately. What I will do is I'll head to the forest.
Forest is a few hours of a walk.
Way, I want to grab. I know it's a bit of a trek. Okay, so I'm not going to head to the forest, but I am going to head to maybe down towards the river where we met that fey creature, and look for some. The bushes would be bare, but thorny bushes. So I'm going to scavenge some thorns to get started.
So you head to, I'll say now, starting off the blacksmiths, okay? So you head, you do find the blacksmiths. You find them. A guy in his like late 30s, early 40s, fairly lean build, but very muscular. He introduces himself as Auguste Delavine. When you come in, he assumes that you're looking for like knives.
Of course. All right. Well, good afternoon, sir. I was hoping you could supply me with some iron nails.
Nails? Of course, mademoiselle.
Yes.
How many do you need?
Oh, just a handful would be fine. Half a dozen.
Oh, okay. Yes, of course. And he goes and he scoops up a handful of nails and he hands. He's like, we'll say a
marvelous.
Copper,
what do I owe you?
A copper. Like it's only a handful of nails. We'll say a copper.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your assistance. These will go to great use at home. Fix some floorboards, yourself, as I'm walking out the door. Okay. Walking backwards out the door, explaining myself. Right. Bye now.
So you head out, you have your nails, and you head in the direction of the river.
The river, maybe.
So you're basically going outside of the town, looking for spots where you might have seen plant life before in the hopes of finding some thorny.
Yes.
You do, when you go out a bit after about 35-40 minutes, you do come across a briar patch of blackberry brown.
Excellent. So I'll just carefully break off some of those big white thorns and store them away for the moment. And then I have 2 more ingredients that I need for this particular thing. I didn't collect my small vials yet. Do I have any empty receptacles on me?
Okay. There's I think you got 1 or 2 vials for tinctures, from what I remember.
Yeah. I got some bits where. Perfect. Okay, excellent. So I have the nails, I have the thorns. So what I'm going to do is actually head back towards the inn. And is it around lunchtime, would you say?
Oh, God, no, not even close. It's still very early in the morning.
It's still very early. Okay. Was Sylvia just in their kitchen?
She had said she was going to be going to the kitchen because you do know that she had managed to collect a small amount of herbs when you were in the forest yesterday.
Excellent.
That she was going to use to make some herbal tinctures.
Okay, fab. So I'm going to scoot behind the counter and go in to her, and I'm going to ask her if she knows where the salt is kept.
Oh, yeah, you know where the salt is kept because you were in the kitchen with her before helping her with her herbal tinctures.
Okay, perfect. So I will just take a tiny little bit of salt, not much, but I'll just kind of scoop some into one of my empty containers. Mm-hmm. And then I will scarp her up to the bedroom. Mm-hmm. And I will, can we say that I have a Bellarmine jug on my person for such a concoction?
Sorry, you have a what?
I want to be historically accurate.
A what jug?
They're small kind of grey-green jugs with a picture of a man's face on them, and they were historically used for this thing. Yeah, can I say sure. I have one? Okay, cool. Lovely. So what I will do is I'm going to empty the thorns into this Bellarmine jug. I'm going to empty the salt in. I'm going to empty the nails in. And then I'm going to head over to, so there's a double bed and a single bed in our room. I'm going to head over to the double bed. I'm going to look under it, find the chamber pot. And if there's anything in it, I'm going to scoop out a tiny bit of urine and put it in the Bellarmine jug. And then I'm going to take out some wax and kind of position it over the top of my jug. And then I'm going to kind of create a little bit of fire in my hands and just wave it over the wax so that it melts and seals the witch's bottle that I have just created.
Okay, so you can now add your first major amulet to your cargo sheet, a witch's bottle.
Hey.
Now, just to be aware, with a witch's bottle, they are something that you are able to charge, if you will. Okay? Let me just pull up the description for our listeners. The witch profession, one of their abilities is they can create major and minor amulets. And this is Gwynn's first major amulet, an amulet of protection against magic. And examples of this would be signals of protection, silver moon-shaped amulets, or a witch's bottle. And how this works is if you're attacked by a spell or magical effect which would cause an injury, the amulet absorbs an amount of damage equal to your resolve plus your magic plus your experience level. You can also pump mana into the bottle to charge it to absorb more damage. Okay? Now, every morning, the damage absorption capacity of your resolve, magic, and level is recharged. Like, so when this is used, when that magical pool of protection is spent, it's gone. But the next morning, the amount equal to your magic, your resolve, and your level is replenished. And then if you want to pump more mana into it, you can. So my question to you now is, do you want to pump any mana into this witch's bottle?
I'm kind of mana broke, just in general, being level 3. Yeah. I guess I could pump maybe 2 magic points in.
You could also wait before you go to bed and pump in whatever you have left, before you go to sleep. Sorry, made that.
Yes, my spirit guide has spoken to me from beyond. You know what? I'm afraid that we're going to meet something during the day.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pump 2, and look, if I don't use it, it's fine. I'll put you in.
So you currently have a resolve of 3 and a magic of 4, and you're level 3.
4.
So that's 6 points of damage that you can already absorb through your witch's bottle.
Yeah.
Because historically, this is kind of what witches' bottles did, but have been mechanically transposed into the game. They were normally found sealed into the walls of buildings or under the floorboards or various different places.
Buried or something, yeah.
The idea of them, how they worked, was if somebody tried to curse a family, cast the evil eye on them or some such thing, that the bottle absorbed that hex, that curse, that negative magic was what it did. In Fey Earth, how we have taken this historical example of European witchcraft and applied it to our witch is it absorbs damage that would be caused by a spell or magical effect. The common components are things like iron nails, fingernails, hair, various different plants like rowan, as well as urine and menstrual blood, all commonly found in a witch's bottle. And not just in Western Europe. These were found pretty much across all of Europe.
And it has like kind of like hit points then, mechanically speaking,
Mechanically, it's like it has its own set of grip points that absorbs
that
the damage.
it's
Yeah.
and it kind of regains health, so to speak, each night again. That's pretty cool.
Exactly. Every dawn, you're replenished the amount equal to your magic, your resolve, and your level, and then a witch can
Awesome.
pump extra mana into it. But of course, that's mana spent in the day that if something happens,
Yeah.
you don't have. You can't when you put mana into a witch's bottle, you can't draw it back out. It doesn't become a reserve of mana.
Yeah.
So yes, this is.
Well, it's
just
pretty
one,
awesome though.
Yeah, this is just one of the
Yeah, it's cool.
Gwynn's other amulet is an amulet of defense. Her minor amulet is an amulet of defense, which this is the examples given, and this is yet again from German folklore, and it's a piece of mandrake root that grew beneath a gallows, bound in twine from a hangman's noose, with nails from the gallows driven into it and worn around the neck, usually in a small bag. And Gwynn does have a very small, like, fabric bag that she wears around her neck that you sometimes have seen peeking out from underneath her shirt, her blouse. And that is her minor amulet. But that is, yet again, that might seem very specific, but that is a direct quote from examples of German folk magic from the 16th and 17th century.
Them Germans, eh?
Those crazy Germans.
Also, would you mind if I don't participate much? Like, I'll be here, I'll listen, but like, I'm not feeling well. I think
Don't worry.
just needs like a day in bed after everything she's been through.
Well, that's totally fine. I mean, we could say that Justine goes to find Philippe to spend the day in his bed.
No, I think she kind of like realized that he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that. What's the problem?
Did my connection broke?
No.
It just got very
No,
silent.
it
Okay, I can hear.
Can you hear us?
Good. Yeah.
I'm glad you think Paulina has.
I can't hear Christina.
Paulina.
No, I can't hear Christina.
Can you hear me, Paulina?
I can hear everyone.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
everybody. Her laptop has decided it needs to install a bunch of updates and fucking restart itself. So
No.
she is now seated beside me. So
I can't see your video,
I think
but that might
Justine-
just be me. Is it?
no, I remember saying before I had that weird fucking problem where, and it's weird
Oh,
because
yeah.
I don't have OBS installed on this laptop as far as I know. I have installed
Weird.
Streamlabs, but I'm still getting the exact same problem where my camera is disabling. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So this is an issue I need to fix before we start streaming live,
Definitely.
which, as I was saying to people realistically, is going to be January because I need to buy a new PC.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So,
No worries.
anyway, so Sylvia, you go into the kitchen. Gwynn does briefly pop in just to grab some salt and then heads off, and you are going to try and make some another standard healing tincture.
Yes.
So that is a herbalism roll. So it would take you 1 hour to make this standard healing tincture. So it's a herbalism intellect roll.
What you get?
17.
Yeah, great. Your target.
That's a good roll.
Okay.
The target number was 15.
Okay, because I was going to use my inspiration die
Yeah.
if it wasn't enough.
No, that's actually a good roll for herbalist stuff. Like,
Yeah. The target number for a standard healing tincture is 50. So you, after about an hour, you decant your solution, having channeling some of your arcane power, not mana, but just arcane power into it, and you now have another standard healing tincture. So is that 3 you've made now?
3.
So you gave one to Mina.
And I kept
That's amazing. She's very busy.
Well, in fairness, Sylvia, even though she's only 3rd level, she has a +2 to herbalism already. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Look,
Yeah,
I
so-
waited a little bit, I think, before I got to that point. It's very good.
So who are you giving this 3rd one to? Are you going to give it to Mina again? You're going to give it to Justine? Are you going to give it to Gwynn?
gonna give it to Justine because she's a squishy sorcerer.
Okay. So Justine,
Thank you very
now
much.
have a standard healing tincture. I'm just adding it to your character sheet now, okay? It is 1d6 plus 3. It is a minor action for you to take it,
Thank you.
or 2 minors, or a major action to pour it down
Wait,
someone else's gun.
Plus 3.
So, Mina, you finish up in mass, okay? And
Yeah.
you're going to head over to the gendarmerie, yes?
Yes, I am.
So you head to the gendarmerie, and
Yeah.
you get there after it's not a big town. You get there in 5 minutes, okay? You head.
Of course, yeah.
And you see there's the same young police officer that you see.
Oh, the gossip guy. Yes.
But you see standing there talking to him is a much older gentleman. Okay, he
Yeah.
must be in his early 50s. Tall,
I
strong
presume
build,
some
slightly heavy
officer.
Yeah, slightly heavy set with grey hair. Okay, and you can see from his uniform he's clearly of a higher rank. Okay.
Yeah.
When you walk in, they both see you, and the older gentleman says, "Oh, bonjour, madame."
Bonjour. Would I have seen either of them in church at some stage? No.
No.
Jesus.
Well, most people don't have the time to go to mass every day.
Yeah, I probably see them on Sunday, like so. Bonjour. And I explain again. Oh, I was here a couple of days ago, just asking for some documentation. I believe I've spoken to you, and I'm addressing your man. That you were like trying to get some together for me from all the soldiers that were like coming through.
When he sees you, the older guy looks at the younger guy is like, "What's going on here?" And the younger guy says, "Oh yes, mademoiselle, that's right. It was myself you were talking to."
Yes, thank you.
Looking through my records, and I'm sorry to say, it's impossible. There are so many records, and there's so much filing, and it's very, very difficult. We are still looking, but I think it is going to be some time before we have an answer for you. I'm very, very sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, if you haven't got the resources, I'm quite happy to sit in a corner and look through documentation myself. I'm so sorry, and I'm addressing the older gentleman. I'm looking for my brother. He was fighting.
Oh, and the older guy, he says, well, allow me to introduce myself, mademoiselle. I am Chief Constable Bacroft. I'm very sorry to hear that you've lost your brother, but you must understand that we have extensive paperwork here, so it's quite impossible to be finding the name of just one solitary soldier in our extensive
Absolutely.
file.
No, I do understand. As if you have any documentation about it all, I'm quite happy to skin through myself. If my name is Mina Zwisik. I'm a member of the Swiss Guard. Very pleased to make your acquaintance, sir. Now, can you tell me what was his name again, Neil? Sorry.
The Chief Constable, he's introduced himself as Chief Constable Bacroft.
Bacroft. Okie dokie, thank you.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're not brushing you off.
Yeah, I know.
They keep saying how impossible this is because they've got such extensive file work, and you're kind of getting a feeling that you're now, for the first time ever, finally coming face to face with the legend that is French bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And it is quite legendary.
It's even worse than at home, and I'm like, I understand that you have extensive paperwork, and I was kind of hoping that there would be some sort of documentation as you are framed, to keep everything organized and so I was hoping, I was counting on that there would be some record somewhere, some documentation somewhere of him, you see. But yeah, I do appreciate the work, and as I say, if there's I really, I wouldn't mind if I just a corner, even here, just go through stuff. I don't mind doing that. On another note, though, is there anywhere in town I can send an arcanogram?
Oh, well, there's the post office.
Oh, that is fantastic. Would you give me any direction to that, please?
They give you directions. It's actually quite close to where you are now. It's only like about 200 meters down from where you are.
Oh, how fortunate is that? Thank you so much, messieurs, and I take my leave.
Okay. So do you want to head to the post office?
I'm going to the post office, yes.
Okay, so you follow the directions. It's literally about 200 meters down. It's like 4 buildings over. And you go into the post office. It's a fairly standard rural post office. There's a single woman there.
Bonjour, madame.
She looks to be in her early 50s, average height, plump build, dark brown hair with some grey in it, and a plaited bun. And he's wearing this lovely, pristine, bright white linen blouse with a cameo brooch on the neck. And kind of a heavy navy check shawl around her shoulders, obviously to keep warm, you know, in these winter months. It's just
absolutely proper woman, proper pious lady. I love it. Or Mina loves it rather. Like, I personally couldn't care less. And I go, oh, myself, I was, madame, I was wondering if I could send an arcanogram, and how much it would be to send an arcanogram to the Vatican, to Vatican City.
To the Vatican?
Yes, to the Vatican.
Oh,
I have brothers who work there, you see, so I want to send an arcanogram to my brothers.
Do you have the runes for the specific arcanogram that you would be sending to?
Oh, yes, and I'll pull out my notes on this. This is going to the headquarters of the Papal Guards.
Oh, such a message. It would be 3 copper for a full page, if you will.
That is fantastic. Yes, let's do that. Thank you so much.
Okay. If you would be so kind as to and she hands you an arcanogram, what looks like a pane of glass, a dark pane of glass, about the size of an A4 page. It's set in a beautiful silver frame that has intricate arcane runes engraved around the sides of it. And she places it down in front of you and says, do you know how to use these devices?
I've used them before, and I will just put my message down.
Oh, very good.
If that is okay, thank you.
And she hands you a stylus made of solid silver, with which to write your message on the glass.
Beautiful. And I will do that.
And you have used these before. You are somewhat familiar with them. As soon as you start writing, appearing on the glass is your handwriting in a silvery ink on the dark glass. So,
very nice. Very, very nice. Yes, I'll send a message to my brothers.
You send your message to your brothers, and then she asks you for the runes.
I hand them over.
Which is basically like the phone number for this. And she writes the runes on the arcanogram and touches one of the glyphs in the bottom right corner, and there's a bright flash of light, and then the glass goes clear with your writing having disappeared.
Merci, madame. That is very kind of you. Thank you so much. And I hand her the 4 copper.
3 copper.
Oh, 3 copper even, yeah.
No, not at all. So my name is Aurélie Blanchette. I am the postmistress here. I assume are you one of those new women who we've all been hearing about?
Oh, yes, absolutely, Mrs. Madame Blanchette.
I've heard you've been quite the adventurers. First of all, battling some little drakes in the brass mills,
Oh, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. I'm not currently wearing my uniform, but I am a member of the Swiss Guards and not the Papal Guards, but
A tiny little
uh,
thing like you, trained to
yes,
fight
yes,
ogres and giants.
yes. Yes, my older brother is as well, but he's in a different division, and I followed in my uncle's footsteps. You see, he took me under his wing, so yeah.
My God! And I heard that yesterday you were off in the woods with that Dubois chap.
Oh yes, 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 yes. We were fighting some, or we were killing some direwolves that were like being a nuisance
Well,
among the farmers. Unfortunately, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and she leans
We
into.
barely escaped with our lives, but you know, we made some money. And that's just the trade. That's the that's the hazard of the trade. That's what you expect. That's
She leans into you and looks around to check if there's anyone there. And there's
Okay,
only the two of you. I says,
okay.
between you and me, mademoiselle, you'd want to be careful around that Dubois. He is.
Oh, I've already noticed. It's like he never seems to go to church, which is an awful thing in a man. So yeah, no, I've already noticed, but thank you
No,
so
no,
much for the warning, nonetheless.
you don't understand. That man could charm the pulse back into a corpse. Okay? Seriously, I have seen it with my own eyes. You would
I
not
haven't
believe it.
I haven't really felt that way at all. But as I say, I'm kind of personally looking for somebody who's a bit more God fearing, I suppose, just like myself, and
Well,
that just wasn't the case with him.
there's some very fine families here with some very, very fine young men. If you are interested, I would be happy
Of
to
not at the
introduce.
moment, but thank you.
Trust me, if you want to know who are the men to be looking out for, you just come to Aurelie. She'll let you know. I can promise you that. No
Oh,
one knows.
thank you very much. I will keep it in mind. Thank you.
I'm a woman of discretion. No one knows this town better than I.
Oh, really? No, that's good to know. Thank you so much for that
Well,
bloodshed.
I am the postmistress, so you know.
That's true. Everybody needs to come to you if they send for their things. Yeah.
Exactly. And if you're going to be here for long, just to be aware, the first Sunday of every month, we have a very large market in the town.
Oh.
There's the smaller markets on a Tuesday for the farmers, but the first Sunday of every month, and the next one's in, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I believe, we have a large market. But if you are looking for items that you need with a bit that wouldn't be readily available here, I have contacts nearby in the city of Limoges. You've heard of this city? It's about 120 odd kilometers southwest of where you are. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's not that far, I think, isn't it?
It's not terribly far. But
I haven't gone through there yet. No.
I have contacts there. So if you're looking for very specific items that you can't find here, if you come to
very
me,
good.
I can arrange. And then if you're happy to wait, minus the small fee, obviously, of organising it, it can be delivered at the market on the first Sunday. But if you need something more urgently, we can arrange for a courier system to bring it here.
Oh, that is fantastic to know. I will. Should I need anything, and also we will let my companions know. Should they need anything?
Absolutely.
That is very good to know. They're all spellcasters, and they seem to be in need of specialist equipment always. So I heard they were really happy to hear, and they already ordered these self-sealing jars that your glass blower is making.
Oh, I've heard about them. Yes, the new jar.
They're really excited about them.
Well, it is quite exciting, really. You know, not having to just use cloth to cover your jars. It is quite exciting.
I honestly, I don't know how this such a thing could be managed, but like I'm happy to I'm just wait to see and what they've come up with. It's exciting times we're living with all these new innovations, isn't it?
The joys of living in such a modern age.
It is. It really is. It's amazing. Amazing to be alive. Apart from the horrible war, that is.
Well, that was terrible, but well.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. Well, thank you so much, Madame Blanchette, and I will pass that on. It's always good to know where one gets one's things. So I wish you a good day, and thank you very much. And I'll see you in church tomorrow, I hope.
Oh, of course I'll be in church tomorrow.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'll see you then.
Okay, bonjour.
Au revoir.
So, the rest of you, Gwynn, Sylvia, Justine, Amanita finally luxuriously stretches and makes her way out of bed. Yous are like hanging around in the patio bears. Gwynn was doing her strange witchy things. Sylvia was doing her herbalist stuff. Okay, and so forth. Justine is kind of taking it easy, but you know, and you hear a couple of, you know, once or twice you're hearing a bit of strange conversation going on between Marie and Jean. So just as you're like finishing up your brewing, Sylvia, you hear Marie she's just out the front and she's chatting to Jean. She's thanking him for the amazing job that he did in the cleaning of the cellar yesterday. And he's like, "Oh, of course, my love. I'm happy to help, you know, whatever way I can." And absolutely. And then she goes off, and then you hear her walk off, and then you see him go past you going down into the cellar.
Yeah.
And then he comes back up a minute later, kind of muttering to himself, and he's got this really confused, surprised look on his face, like, "It's spotless. I didn't do that. This is what happened?" It's like, as he kind of nods to you as he just continues walking on.
Sylvia is going to kind of smirk at him and say, "Well, it wasn't me either."
No, it's very strange. Yeah.
Is anything missing from the cellar?
The dust?
But any items?
No. No, it's cleaned. That's all. It's been cleaned and organised, and yes.
Could you have some sort of a benevolent Fey who has moved in and has decided they're going to help you?
We've never. What? No, I mean that's
like a brownie. I know they're called something different here.
I mean,
you know the household Fey.
We call them they called by a few names, like a cadet, for example, is one of the names that we call them here. Yes, I mean, nobody would have such a creature in their houses here in Chaville. I mean.
Well, maybe you do now.
I don't know. Very strange. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose cleaning your cellar is helpful and seems benign.
Yeah, well, I suppose.
So you probably should check and just make sure that nothing is missing.
Of course, yes, that's a good idea. And he goes back downstairs. So you get back up and. I suppose at this stage now, after you've potted around in the kitchen for a bit and you're
make sure I've cleaned up.
Yeah, and you clean up after you. And Gwynn, you come down, and then Justine and Amanita as well. It's getting to about midday. As Mina finally comes back, she's been gone all morning.
Well, Sylvia is going to relay her conversation with.
Okay.
That I was talking to Jean, and Marie had thanked him for cleaning the cellar, but he said that he had not actually cleaned the cellar, but it is spotless.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that maybe
I don't know. That's strange.
A day or I think they call them Heinz and where you are from.
Yeah, we know them.
One of the domestic elves.
Yeah.
They're called Heinz Lincoln, where you're from as well, so.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're really good to have, actually. So they shouldn't chase that away.
Or also,
Are they dangerous?
No, not generally. No.
Oh well, I mean, it depends on.
If you don't annoy it, that is.
Provided you do not try to trick it or annoy
Yeah,
it, then you're
yeah.
fine.
So they're
If
also,
you're respectful, like, you know.
They're also in German-speaking regions. Also, sometimes referred to as kobolds. And when Christine asks, "Are they dangerous?" You do remember a story you've heard before a long time ago. You can't remember where exactly. It might have been Dusseldorf or somewhere, of a story of a kobold that was living in a noble's palace. And these creatures, whether you call them a kobold, a kadei, a brownie, a Heinzelmännchen, they're generally always invisible. So you see the effects of their presence in your house, but you almost never will actually see one with your own eyes. They're almost universally invisible. And in this story, one of the young servant boys in the palace tricked the kobold into breaking his invisibility and revealing himself. And the kobold became so enraged he ripped the lad's arm off and beat him to death.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, as long as
They're
you don't
tiny
force
bit scary.
them into the don't make them visible or anything. Don't try to trick them or trap them. But otherwise, they're actually really helpful to have. My mother always wanted one.
Well, I can
Good,
understand
maybe.
having a bit of apprehension that somebody who you didn't invite is now taking up shop in your cellar.
Oh, well, we don't actually know exactly what happened, so...
True, but I can understand Jean's reaction that it might be a bit unwelcome. So maybe if we go down and inquire on their behalf.
But we have already said that tricks them into revealing themselves. The consequences could be bad.
Well, we could always just go down and let it know that, just let it know that we may be aware of its presence, but we're not asking it to expose itself or make itself vulnerable in any shape or way, just to let them know that the owners of the inn are slightly concerned. That is all.
But we don't actually know if there is one there.
At home, we have creatures called piskies, and they, I think, maybe are somewhat similar, and they're always better left alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I think we should just leave it. If the
Agree.
best that comes of this is, oh, surprise, your cellar is clean.
Yeah.
This is good.
That's it. Just leave out something.
So you're sitting down and Jean comes up to you and he says, it's a bit early, but is anybody hungry? Would anybody like some lunch?
Yes, please. It was an early start for us today. I would love some lunch.
Okay, right. So
Justine didn't have any early start, but she would be like, yes, of course.
Likewise.
Well, he comes out a little bit with some soup and some bread for you all, and then goes back and you hear him chatting to his wife. He says, "So, Marie, I actually didn't clean the cellar." And she's like, "Really? Because this is strange, because the linens have all been freshly pressed and put away as well, and I know you didn't do that." So, and he's like, "I think I was talking to, the strange one with the herbs, and she was saying as well, she thinks it could be a cadet." And she's like, "Oh, well, I better leave out some. I'll leave out a glass of wine and I'll leave out some bread and some cheese this evening before I go to bed." I said, wait, that's a good idea. And you see they're having this conversation of like what they're going to do, and just making sure that they're like, But she just comes like, they did a fantastic job pressing the linens. I'm just saying.
Yes, I mean the pixies back home can be very mischievous, and maybe, I mean, it might be an idea to thank them with some sort of libation, but I wouldn't go interfering.
Oh, definitely not. I for one do not want to get my arm ripped off.
No.
I don't think I could cure that.
So, would it be fair to say that you all are having a fairly relaxing and chill day, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I assume Mina tells the rest of the party what she learned from the postmistress about ordering things that...
Absolutely.
Yeah, that if you want items that you can't get here, you can special order them through the post office. and the postmistress will send an arcanogram to one of the nearest cities, and you can wait for the market or get it shipped early for a bit of coin.
Oh, so Sylvia is going to turn to Yasti and just say, do you need things for your sorcery, science, alchemy experiments? I don't know. I meant
Yes,
for
yes.
my spells. It's very different.
I actually do. I do.
Now, Justine, you know that this is a Saturday. The post office was open for a few hours in the morning. It's going to be closed by now, you know. But on Monday, you could certainly go if you wanted to order some arcane alchemical supplies, and then either wait or pay whatever the charge is and have it shipped to you in a couple of days.
Oh, thank you very much, Sylvia. I'll go upstairs and I check what I miss. I'll definitely need something. Yes.
I can't think of anything that I would need because most of what I need I can find quite local. But Gwynn, I understand witches, they need strange things that are quite specific.
Yes, but similarly, most of what I need I can find in nature or, around fairly easily.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, I was just gonna tell you. They have glasses, but like here. But if you need anything else, I don't know. Special inks, or I don't know. But I thought if you need something, that's the option you have.
that's
It's good
excellent.
to know. It's good to know. You never know.
So, as I say, you have a fairly relaxed afternoon, or spending the rest of the day doing whatever you wish. Okay.
Yeah.
By evening time, people have started coming in, and it's getting very busy because it is a Saturday night.
Yeah.
So it's the busiest that you've seen. Because you arrived, literally, you've been here almost a week. You arrived on Monday. It's now Saturday. You've had a very busy week.
Yeah.
But it is getting very busy. Okay, by about 8:30, 9 o'clock, the place is pretty jam packed.
I want some wine. I feel like having some wine.
So as you're shouting that out, you hear an exclamation from the bar from Jean. He's like, "Mon Dieu!" And turning, you look and you see a tray that he'd been preparing with glasses on it, with drinks, suddenly raises up from the bar on its own and starts floating approximately a meter above the ground to the table of people who had ordered it. And everybody in the inn suddenly stops, seeing this in shocked silence. As this tray gets to the table and the glasses start floating off the tray towards each person, and some coin that they'd left out on the table is lifted up onto the tray and brought back to the bar.
I look at Sylvie and Justina and say, is this you, or should we be worried?
I just immediately get up and go over to the table and say, like, well, isn't that fantastic service? And try to kind of, keep them calm and walk over to the bar and go like, yeah, you seem to have new help.
And one of the women who's sitting at the long, it's one of those long tables in section. She's like, picks up her glass and her hand is shaking slightly as she sips it, tastes it, puts it down, and then picks it up and drinks a bit more. And people are watching her, and then slowly people start talking again. And
Yeah, I think it's a Heinzelmännchen.
Yeah.
I'll jump up
probably.
and follow Nina to the bar.
Probably looks like a Heinzelmännchen. Maybe you should leave something out, I say to Jean.
when you say that,
Just to thank it.
When you say that, one of the locals turns to us, what's a Heinzelmännchen?
Oh, they're like, I think they're called brownies in England.
Oh,
and
okay. Okay, yeah.
little helpful spirits.
And this happens a few times over the night. Not once, but at least a half.
They'll get used to it. They'll get used to
at
it.
least a half dozen times over the night. At one point, you see some guys have gone up to the bar to Jean and they've ordered some beers, and when they give him the order and he goes to reach for a tankard, but another one automatically lifts up underneath the barrel, and the tap opens and it starts pouring out, and they're just him and the customer just standing there staring at this tankard that's being like floating in the air, being poured by itself, and then it just lifts onto the bar. And Jean looks, goes, well, and they hand him the coin. He says, "Merci," and he looks at the empty spot to his right and says, "Thank you."
Yeah.
Sylvia.
Again,
I'll
as
lean
long
over
as
the bar,
nobody
'cause
is-
I mean, I followed Mina up, so I'll lean over the bar to the barman and just say, maybe leave some coin for them as well, so we don't annoy them, and to thank them.
Don't worry, my wife is going to leave a glass of nice wine and some bread and some cheese tonight.
Perfect.
Oh, excellent. Good, good.
Is there?
Well, this will be either very good for business or very bad.
Well, it's very fast service, I must say. They'll get used to it. As long as nobody's trying to capture it, it'll be fine.
Sylvia's just quietly chuckling while she's drinking the wine. It's like,
I mean, Gwynn isn't chuckling because back home in Cornwall, like fairies and fae, like little mischievous fae, like that can be so dangerous as well. So Gwynn is kind of skeptical about the whole thing.
I don't know here in this place, but like where I'm from, the
I don't
handsome
know.
mansion that Sylvia is talking about, they're usually really, really helpful. As I say, as long as nobody is
well, that's
insulting them, they are actually, like the place they move into, they are generally very helpful.
Wow, my mother could certainly use some of them back
Yeah,
home.
mine was like she was wishing for one so much. There were 6 of us, so like so she
Do they move in of their own accord?
Yeah, sometimes there is certain places that they are associated with, like if that's a really old, like old kind of places of old families would have one. But yeah, sometimes they would just move in. I mean, it hasn't, like, I have never actually met anyone that, like, I heard stories of people that say, like, oh, it's moved in, like, when my grandmother was around, but I've never actually met anyone or a family that happened to. Like, this is the first time that I've actually seen one moving in, but I heard stories, so, yeah.
Wow. I mean, back home, if one of our versions of them moved in, you would move out.
Oh, really?
They are not
Are they
something you want
malicious?
sharing your space. Oh, yes.
All right, yeah.
Well,
No,
mischievous.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, they're usually very helpful. Like, there is some who can be really, really mean as well, and they play little tricks, but the handsome mansion as such are usually really, really helpful. So I'm not sure what those are like here, but so far they're doing an amazing job. So
it seems.
keep them happy and it'll be fine.
So, anybody wanting or planning on doing anything else?
is there any sign of your
Dubois, he has not turned up so far.
Is there any music playing?
I suppose we'll just observe. Sorry.
There are some people in one corner playing. There's someone with a violin. There's another person with an accordion, and another person with a flute. Locals.
And would they be playing like local sort of songs or more well-known songs? Okay, so I'm going to go over there and, have a few drinks, dance a little bit, try and get people on their feet.
Oh, there are people dancing.
Okay, then I'll dance with some of the other people.
So, you're having a pretty enjoyable evening, okay, and things are going well. As I say, you do see a few more times this strange magical force appearing to serve people, but by the end of the evening, people are getting kind of used to it. Things are beginning to wind down, and you see people starting to home, and at about like maybe 11:15, getting fairly quiet when all of a sudden some man who just left bursts back in, slams the door behind him, and he looks around, terrified, and he says, "There's the square. It's full of it's full of full fillet.
What? And Gwyn just jumps up and runs out.
I'm without a
Without
follow.
thinking.
No.
See,
Oh no.
Gwyn,
I don't even understood what he said. I didn't understand what he
he's
said.
using a French word for a fey creature.
Ah.
Yes. And you jump out and you run out outside into the town square, and you see the strangest. Well, it's very strange. You instantly recognize them, but you see floating around 4 glowing, fiery orbs of light.
Whoa.
Floating in the air, bobbing around, and you can see 1 or 2 people who appear to be like beginning to follow these orbs as they hypnotically weave
Oh no.
leading them
Gosh.
off in the direction of the river.
Oh
And
no.
Oh, no.
They're like will the wisps.
Yeah.
Yes, they are, and this is a perfect
Oh,
place
no.
to pause in our story. A number of will-o'-the-wisp, or as they're known in this part of Europe, faux fillet, appearing in the town square. This is very strange, as they normally appear in marshes and boglands. Also, what's strange about these creatures is that while they don't appear to have any obvious abilities with which to attack a person, their hypnotic lure has made many an unwary traveller wander off to their death. Hopefully, our party will be able to keep their wits about them as they deal with this new threat. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to know more about the world of Fey Earth, both the system and the setting, please be sure to be following us on social media. We're still on Twitter, well, there's still a Twitter at Fey Earth, and we're appearing on other social media platforms also at Fey Earth, with the exception of TikTok, where we're Fey_Earth. We also have an itch.io page, fey-earth.itch.io, where you'll find a bunch of really fun products by us. They're all pay what you want, free downloads, lore primer, and a couple of free one-shots with pre-generated characters, so you can enjoy an evening playing in this world of fantasy, fae, and folklore.